First at 5, Providence police responding to a rash of violence that has gripped the streets over the last few days. Since Friday, we've been reporting on numerous shootings and stabbings in the capital city, one of which turned deadly.
He was pronounced dead at the scene.
So many lost lives in the city.
And we continue to track developing news on a Providence homicide.
Another homicide in the city.
There are 3 shots.
We're starting to see that the kids are now involving themselves in different other crimes other than gang-related issues. Us as the Institute trying to get these kids out of the lifestyle of gangs, they now go into, whether it be drug dealing or now the home invasion type of activity, which is also cool. Born and raised in Providence, Rhode Island. I lived in Lockwood Plaza, which is a house of projects on Prairie Avenue in South Providence. I am a Southside Boys and Girls Club kid, also Davy Lopes. Just growing up in the community and seeing all the violence and having young men that I've known and coached that have played for me that were part of some of the violence in Providence is kind of what got me into working in the community and wanting to give back to the community.
My name is Cam Bells. I'm from Providence, Rhode Island. I'm an artist, musician, producer, however you want to call it. And some would view me as a leader in my community. I spend my time spreading positive energy through music, through sports, through different avenues. Growing up in Providence, you get to see a lot of different things. Providence is a very diverse city compared to a lot of other cities. It's very mixed. I grew up seeing a lot of Spanish people, a lot of black people, even a lot of white people, a lot of Asian people. So I come from a very colorful community. Besides that, my father was a leader in the community for many years. He influenced a lot of people to do a lot of good things, even in the midst of a lot of negativity that goes on in every urban area in America, not just in Providence. There are figureheads that spread those positive messages. So me as an artist and me as a leader, I feel like it's my responsibility to not only speak on the issues in the music, but also use my music as a way to direct the consciousness of people to other leaders in the community. And that's where you bring in people from the Institute of Nonviolence, the ISPN, and different people within the community that are leaders among the youth. So I feel like that is my responsibility, to speak on those truths and also shed light on the people that wake up every day and spread those truths. Because my job is to wake up and create art that will influence people, impact people, make them feel something. And with that, I can empower people who wake up every morning and their 9 to 5 or whatever their job is. It may be a full 24-hour job. Their job is to directly talk to those kids in the schools, directly talk to those families that are dealing with these issues.
So anybody that's involved in the game can either die today or go to jail today. It's as simple as that. And people will look at me like, that drastic? I'm like, yeah, that. We have to look at it as that drastic because the nature of the game, right? So we want to keep you alive, keep you from hurting somebody or keep you from getting hurt. The other thing is we want to keep you out of prison. And the street workers are individuals that work within the community to intervene in violence in the cities of Providence and Pawtucket on a day-to-day basis. Well, street workers are on call 24/7 to respond to any incidents of violence. And unfortunately, we know violence is not a 9-to-5 thing. Right? It happens sporadically at all kinds of hours of the day. So that's the reason why we're on call. Most of the street workers come from a background of some criminal activity or gang lifestyle, but this is their way of redemption to give back to the community.
My name is Sal Montero. I am the Director of Training here at the Nonviolence Institute. I've been here for about 10 years now, but I've been studying and practicing nonviolence for over 20 years. I've been the Director of Training here for about 5 years. My first introduction to nonviolence was 1993. I was serving 20 years in prison for being involved in a murder. And a friend of mine came to my cell and said, you want to take this nonviolence class? and not doing nothing for the next 20 years. So I took the class, and it changed everything about me. It changed how I wanted to treat people, how I wanted people to treat me. I ended up serving 12 and a half years, and it helped me stay out of trouble, helped me stay focused, helped me, get my mind thinking in the right direction upon my release. And fortunately, when I came home in 2004, this place was in existence, and it was a smooth transition into this work, which also included nonviolence and education, philosophy, trying to make the world a little better place, safer.
Just not wanting to see my people go through what they go through, right? And that was kind of my broad understanding of just giving back as being part of the community and wanting to curb violence. But I started to realize that it's not just violence, that there's root causes to what causes the violence. And unfortunately, to solve those issues, you now have to dig deeper. When I got into the work, it's like, I'm just going to work with young people, get them to mediate their conflicts, and that'll be it. But that's not the end all be all, right? What comes with that is not having a job, not having enough resources available, the politics that play into it, and the racism and injustices, and all those things that come with the causes of violence. That was a reason for me wanting to dig deeper and wanting to actually come up with an overall solution to curb violence.
What inspires me to give back is my everyday life, my personal experiences that I've went through, as well as the people around me, and try to find a way to deal with the issues, and sometimes it's through just a smile and giving someone a smile, creating a song that relates to somebody, whether it's about gun violence or it's about abortions or whatever it's about, just reaching somebody and making them feel something, and whether it makes them get up and go get a job, makes them get up, go want to make it to the NBA, get up, want to go fix their relationship with their parents, whatever it is, I feel like that is where my inspiration comes from, to fill that void that is missing in whatever that community is. And in the specific community of urban America, a lot of that is poverty, a lot of that is violence, a lot of that is drug and alcohol abuse. So I tend to speak on those things more passionately because those are the things that we deal with every day in this type of community.
It's not in my hands, caught in some loyal ambitions of a Providence man.
Do I believe every artist that comes out with a rap video is good? No, right? But I get it, it's part of the culture, right? So some people do it because, one, I can get notoriety for it, right? I can kind of put out there to the streets what it is that I do. I can get a lot of views, and now I'm the man, right? And then part of it does have some content to it, right? And that was my thing to the news, is that listen to the lyrics, right? Don't just pass it off as trash music. Even if you don't think they're the most lyrical person in the world or the best rap artist in the world, they are saying some things in it that are true about their lifestyle and what they're living. And you gotta understand it, and that's why they're using rap as a form to put that out to the world.
If you real, you gon' relate to my story, and if you ain't, then you cease to exist, son of a bitch. Special, hard-coded than an Eskimo. Ain't gotta like it, I promise you gon' respect it, though. Come ride through the city with me. Come ride through the city with me.
So in 2014, I released an album called Providence, City of Lost Dreams, Providence Code. And the ideology behind it was to shed light on the mindset of the youth in Providence specifically, but in urban Americas all around, the country, and how people don't believe that they can do something. And it's like, how can you be successful if you have already lost your dream before you even got to that point of knowing if you can make it or not? And just growing up, I saw a lot of talented basketball players, a lot of smart individuals that they got to a point, whether that be 15, 16, and they're giving up on life. Well, that doesn't make any sense. That the decision to become a professional does not come until your early 20s. You should be with your head down, working your ass off until you get to that point. So for me to see that mindset in the youth, I wanted to create something that would open up the dialogue and also shed light on the positive leaders that they can go and speak to. So for some of the people that I put in the short film was Juan Buckcoy from the Nonviolence Institute. He was one of the most impactful people in our community. He speaks up on social media. He's a leader at local gatherings. He travels to different cities and states to learn about their culture and bring it back home. So that's one of the most important leaders that I see of the generation.
The one thing I admire about him is that Juan seems to always be in the normal. No matter how hectic things are going, no matter how much violence is happening around, no matter all the stuff that's dumped on his plate that he has to deal with, he remains normal. It's almost kind of scary that, listen, there's a lot of stuff going on. How do you remain in that normal, that normal attitude and stay focused? You don't get too high, you don't get too low, you're not losing control. So to me, in doing this work, to have that attitude and to be able to remain in that space it's quite amazing because of a lot of stuff that we deal with in trying to prevent violence.
Corey really influenced me on how the things that are going around in our community, that it is possible that we can come together and change if we put our minds to it.
I feel like when you're named a community leader, it's not something that you self-proclaim. It's something that the people give to you. And what came with that was an expectation, right? And I kind of saw this as a way to speak for the voiceless, right? So if I can get on the news or if I can get in front of a camera, I'm going to represent the people that I service and let their voices be heard. And if it has to be through me, then so be it. And kind of just saying, I'll be this individual that people want me to be, right? Without degrading myself in any way or without, I still have morals and values. For me, it's all about having a seat at the table. And if I can get a seat at the table where decisions are being made, then I'll take that sacrifice for my people and be their voice. I am a community crusader.